Support for this program is provided by Sequent Planning, an SEC-registered investment advisor, helping people make informed retirement income decisions. Additional information is available at sequentomaha.com.
"40 million children below the age of 15 suffer from abuse and neglect worldwide, according to Youth for Human Rights International." Good afternoon, I'm Lillian Griffith.
And I'm Brian Vamaka. Coming up, a local university has plans for a new science and technology research center.
All this and more on the Omaha News.
From the studios of UNO Television, this is the Omaha News, presented by UNO School of Communication.
STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. The STEM program at UNO focuses on coming up with innovative ways to educate students in a constantly adapting world, and now the program may have found a new home. Reporter Matt Kirkle is live at Allwine Hall to give us a look at the growth of the program and the possibility of a permanent STEM facility at UNO.
STEM education in universities has become more of a priority over the last few years. The traction has brought a lot of exciting new ideas to the forefront and may lead to a new beginning for the program at UNO.
The UNO STEM program has been garnering more attention among the Omaha community, so much so that there's now discussions of a new STEM center being built. The only obstacle in the way is a working budget.
Those faculty came up with 32 objectives to meet as part of that plan, and there was only one objective that was unmet from that phased approach, and that was to create a center.
STEM education uses hands-on practice to help students prepare for working in a changing world. Christine Kutsakaki thinks that an idea like this could bring limitless possibilities for the entire STEM program.
A STEM center is a really exciting new addition to any community. It really brings the opportunity to engage with STEM professionals, so that may be university-affiliated folks as well as industry partners.
The Nebraska Board of Regents approved of the new center last March, but a lack of funding is preventing the facility from being built. Patrick Rault believes that bringing in more students will be the key to more support.
Drawing people in, students and faculty, is really at the heart of, well, the acronym of STEM Trail Center. So really within that teaching aspect, we're thinking of bringing people in with a spirit of inquiry.
Kutsakaki thinks that the university is making STEM a priority and that this is just the beginning for the program.
I think the timeliness is just awesome in that we have our staff and faculty and community partners really engaged in all the activities. Everyone is welcome to engage with the STEM Trail Center.
Kutsakaki says that it will be a process to implement a new facility, but she's confident in the supporters of the program, and she believes that the program will become a reality soon enough.
Thanks to a new national grant, future math educators will now have new opportunities of study at UNO. The Omaha department at the Durham Science Center was recently awarded a $1.4 million grant from the Robert Noyce Teacher Scholarship Program. The aim of the grant is to help prepare future high school math teachers for a career working in high-need schools.
So the biggest advantage, superficially, or maybe even not superficially, is they get a large scholarship. The scholarships are $15,000 a year. To be part of the program, they can get that for 2 years.
Alongside the scholarship, the program will also partner up students with faculty members who will help provide guidance. Additionally, these students will also be given internships in teaching and research roles. Eventually, upon completion of the program, participants are expected to earn both a mathematics degree and teaching certificate from UNO. Coming up, UNO students hosted a marathon in honor of one of the oldest broadcast mediums still around today.
Next, we take a look at a small business in Omaha that brings recycling to the next level.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
my name is Allison Waken, and I'm an instructor in the College of Communication. I teach Public Speaking Fundamentals, or CMST 1110. Many of my students find that public speaking is going to be too embarrassing or too difficult, but learning the basics can be very beneficial. UNO's public speaking course isn't just about how to give a successful presentation, but so much more. In this course, you will learn how to collect and organize information. Doing this allows you to communicate with people so they can be a part of the conversation. Thank you, and I hope to see you in class.
Don't Forget Me is a film that follows the discoveries of Jackie Spinner, a journalism professor at Columbia College in Chicago. Jackie adopted 2 boys as infants from Morocco, about 3 years apart, and as it turns out, both boys are on the autism spectrum. Jackie has become a fierce defender of their rights and their needs and the services that they require in the United States. She traveled back to Morocco to discover what autism treatment is like there and what children who grow up with autism can expect, and the lack of services and the lack of care for their needs. We'll show the film on Thursday night, October 10th, in the Community Engagement Center on the UNO campus. It's free, it's open to everybody. Jackie will be here to introduce the film and then to lead a discussion after the 30-minute film is over. I hope everybody joins us.
This is the Omaha News.
A local organization that recycles computers and other electronics is doing their part to bring sections of the Omaha community into the 21st century.
You get some real fun noises when you work here.
Boxes of every electronic part you could imagine, pallets of computers and printers, and yes, plenty of loud noises, are all a part of the daily experience at Motherboard.
Motherboard is a social enterprise. We employ adults on the autism spectrum to recycle electronics. We also refurbish computers for low-income families, for nonprofits, and for persons with disabilities.
Motherboard is a small organization with just a handful of employees. But despite their size, they have found numerous ways of making a difference in their community. Employee Chris Eckleberry has worked here for almost a year and found the job through the PACE program.
It's a function of the Autism Action Partnership that basically helps people on the autism spectrum look for jobs.
In addition to employing adults on the autism spectrum, Motherboard sells computers at very low prices to assist low-income families. Toller sees this as a moral obligation to the community.
The digital divide is something that needs to be addressed. Depending on your zip code, depending on your income, you may not have a working computer in your house.
Something as simple as a job opportunity or a working computer can change a person's life. And you don't have to look farther than Eckleberry for proof.
Probably the best job I've ever had.
Motherboard was inspired by Blue Star Recyclers, a Colorado company that pioneered the idea of employing adults with autism.
From the launching of Sputnik 1 to the discovery of dark energy, science makes larger and larger leaps in advancement that keep leaving people amazed. To educate today's youth, the Strategic Air and Aerospace Museum released an exhibit called Space, A New Generation. Set up in 2 stages, this exhibit takes people young and old through the history of space travel and the innovations of present-day space discovery. Museum Mark curator Straley explored the makeup of the exhibit and its impact on the memory of the period. Straley says the personal feelings in this exhibit gives him a sense of satisfaction.
We have great-grandchildren whose grandparents are introducing them to this experience from 1969, and they are being inspired by their parents and grandparents and great-grandparents' memories of the achievements in space.
Through this exhibit, people across the region find that learning about the past just may reveal more of the mysteries of our universe.
Radio keeps the student voice alive and more powerful than ever, according to UNO School of Communication broadcast majors. Reporter Phil Lemon is at our live table to tell us more about these students' dedication to this medium in a modern world.
A string of community leaders, broadcasters, and artists share the same enthusiasm for radio as the 5 students who went without sleep for 24 hours to celebrate the 9th annual World College Radio Day. College Radio Day 2019 consisted of more than 500 stations internationally in 28 countries worldwide. Last year, UNO's MAV Radio was one of 7 stations chosen to receive the 2018 Spirit of College Radio Award.
College radio for a lot of us is the place that you get your start, or college TV. It's a place that I got my start, and it's what I guess made me think that maybe it was something that I wanted to do, but I never really knew for sure.
Stations participated in an effort to show that radio is still alive and thriving on campuses across the country.
It's your school. It should be your voice. I think it's an important part of media is it gives us all an outlet from a personality standpoint, but I think especially in college, it's where you go to school. I mean, I think that people appreciate hearing from others that go to school here. They appreciate hearing the call of those that go to school here.
MAV radio staff chose to go on air for a 24-hour marathon. However, other college stations chose different ways to celebrate. Staff member Ethan Wolbach says that the 24 hours of no sleep is worth it to get the message out to the community.
Because this is a huge deal. We've never done 24 hours live. I mean, there's been 4 of us that have been up, almost the entire 24 hours so far. We're at hour 12 right now. So College Radio Day is just super important for keeping radio alive, because we're future reporters, future storytellers, and if we're not going to tell the stories now, who's going to tell them later?
By participating in this event, MAV Radio hopes to continue its growth and popularity on the airwaves. The next event hosted will be Haunted Heartland on October 30th.
Coming up, we head over to our sports team to look at the new face behind the voice of Omaha hockey.
Next, athletic trainers are stepping up as Maverick athletes prepare to kick the winter sports season into high gear.
All this and more on the Omaha News.
What I feel coming to UNO is a sense of community, feeling like I had a home, and so I chose UNO because of that. To me, access to exceptional is having a cheerleader in your life, and anybody who has stepped foot in UNO knows that somebody cares about you. School isn't just getting a GPA. To go above and beyond that is what's going to make you an exceptional applicant to a job or a graduate program.
Are you a UNO college student struggling to find your next meal? You are not alone.
A recent Temple University survey of 43,000 college students found that 36% are considered food insecure. If you find yourself among this group, contact the Maverick Food Pantry.
Located in room 130 in the Community Engagement Center, the Maverick Food Pantry offers packages with 2 days' worth of non-perishable items.
For more information, search Maverick Food Pantry at unomaha.edu. At UNO, we are a family.
And Mavericks take care of each other.
I wish I had someone to help me with my research paper.
The UNO Writing Center. It's a place where you can meet with a trained writing consultant to work on course papers, resumes, cover letters, theses, and dissertations. The UNO Writing Centers are located at Arts and Science 150, Chris Library, and Memo Hall 131.
That sounds great. I'll head there now.
It's that time of year again.
Flu season?
Ugh.
Did you know you can get your flu shot at the UNO Health Center?
But I'm already sick.
Well, the UNO Health Center can make you unsick.
Where are we?
Room 102 of the H&K building. Come here to get your flu shot or help with any health concerns you might have.
Well, thanks. I need all the help I can get.
Social media can be fun, but it can also be a powerful tool. At the UNO Social Media Lab, we work together to advance our understanding of social media and technology on the UNO campus and beyond with research application services such as real-time social media tracking, social media listening, and assistance on how to work with first-party social media tools such as Twitter and Instagram analytics. We have also consulted and collaborated with communities in Nebraska to help them leverage social media to work for their communities.
Welcome back to another edition of Omaha Sports. I'm your host, Jay Bridgman. Studies show that 90% of student athletes report some sort of sports-related injury, and 54% report they have played while injured. Although student athletes are often glorified in their sports of choice, the health risks are extremely high. As winter sports prepare for the upcoming season, the hours in the gym, ice, pool, and weight room have amped up. The NCAA only allows 8 hours of workouts per week in preseason. However, when official practice begins, those hours increase to 20 hours per week. Josie Filer, a sophomore on the women's basketball team at UNO, has had her fair share of injuries from the sport. She believes the sudden increase of hours may be a variable in the beginning of season injuries.
The beginning of season is definitely something that wears down your body because you're doing the 3-hour practices on top of the weights and then sometimes even individuals too.
The UNO athletic trainers are aware that this time of season can be especially busy for them. Common injuries they see in athletes are sprained ankles, strained muscles, and sometimes even ligament tears. UNO women's basketball trainer Tony Taylor, along with other trainers, work with the UNO strength and conditioning staff to stop injuries before they happen.
One of the big things that we've started doing is also working on active cool downs. So making sure that after practices, the athletes are getting stretched out, getting some good flushing, whether that's like a Normatec or a recovery pump.
Along with increased hours, there are other factors that contribute to injuries that athletes have complete control over.
A lot of it comes down to two very simple principles, and one of them's nutrition, eating the right way. The other big one that a lot of athletes don't do very well is sleep. Athletes aren't getting enough sleep, their bodies aren't able to recover, their bodies aren't put in a position to recover, and that's leading to an uptick in injuries.
Practicing putting away phones at night, going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, and sleeping in a dark room can be helpful for athletes trying to get better sleep. For the Omaha News, I'm Jay Bridgman. The UNO women's basketball team steps out of the ice baths and onto the court to shoot for their season on Wednesday, October 30th at Baxter Arena. A familiar voice in the city of Omaha, Donnie Barnes, is the new voice of Omaha hockey. Reporter Harrison Popp has more on the timeline and the decision of the motion of the rare change.
A premier voice in the Omaha community has quickly ascended the ranks of Omaha athletics as the new play-by-play broadcaster of Maverick hockey.
And I just kind of did it for fun and as a way to make some extra money. I never really thought it was something I could do at higher levels.
Just 10 years into his young career, Donnie's voice can be recognized nationwide. Notably, he's voiced commercials for Budweiser, Microsoft, and T-Mobile, along with calling Major League Baseball games for the Oakland Athletics. However, this new chapter with the Mavericks humbles Donnie.
UNO is a place that really resonated with me as soon as I stepped on campus here a few years ago. You know, it's a real underdog fighting spirit that I relate to a lot.
Donnie Barnes will be replacing Dave Allers as the new voice of Omaha Maverick hockey. He will assume all play-by-play duties, and he will be alongside longtime color commentator Terry Leahy.
And to be at that level that he's reached at his age is amazing, and he's certainly bringing all of that to the broadcast booth at Baxter Arena and wherever else we're playing, and most notably in the NCHC.
His predecessor, Dave Allers, had been the voice for the Mavericks for the last decade, including their 2015 Frozen Four appearance. He relinquished the role to Donnie because his obligations within the athletic department shifted.
So I'm really honored to be stepping into his shoes and just honored to be part of this program that I think is headed for really big things over this next decade.
By accepting the hockey play-by-play responsibilities, Donnie will no longer be the voice of Omaha women's basketball. For the Omaha News, I'm Harrison Popp.
Donnie's first regular season broadcast as the voice of Omaha hockey will be Friday night when the Mavericks face off against Alabama Huntsville at Baxter Arena. The United Soccer League is coming to Omaha. Reporter Owen Goberson joins us with the unveiling of the new club's crest and name leading up to kickoff this coming spring.
For the first time in almost a decade, Omaha will try its hand at a professional soccer team. The team will compete in USL League One, the third division of U.S. Soccer's pyramid system underneath USL Championship and Major League Soccer. Ray Shirley, the president of the Infant Club Supporters Group, said that the club wanted to bring the Omaha community in on the branding of the organization.
They made sure that our input was heard, what we liked as far as logos, how we identified with the area, so we felt like we were heard.
This is not Omaha's first attempt at professional soccer, with the Omaha Vipers playing in the 2010-2011 Major Indoor Soccer League out of the Civic Auditorium. The new USL League One side, Union Omaha, will play their home games at Warner Park, which offers natural grass instead of artificial turf, something that Coach Mims says him and his team are looking forward to.
I think there's wonderful turf fields, especially here. I think Creighton and UNO have some of the best turf fields in the country, but I mean, yeah, natural grass, and so we're excited about that.
Mims is no stranger to building a program from scratch. as he was the first ever head coach of the Omaha men's soccer team. Omaha has steadily seen a rise in attendance and interest in the game at the collegiate level, with UNO and Creighton's attendance rising over the last decade, which is something the fans and the club will be looking to capitalize on.
We've seen the growth in Division I soccer locally. We've seen the club affiliation with local support for MLS. So whoever wants to watch soccer in their backyard, this is the opportunity.
For the Omaha News, I'm Owen Godberson.
The team will compete among teams in the 3rd Division, such as Lansing, Ignite, and Forward Madison. Union Omaha will kick off their inaugural season on April 25th at Werner Park. That's all we have for Maverick Athletics this week. Brian, Lillian, back to you.
Thanks, Jay. Coming up, UNO hosted a competitive event with cutting-edge technology to test student creativity.
Next, an Omaha pastor and a hospice nurse reflect on their experiences with those in their final moments.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Marlena Davidson, and I'm a faculty member in the School of Communication here at the University of Nebraska at Omaha. Many of you might be asking yourself, how does an online public speaking class work? Well, technology has made it possible to craft an online course following the same objectives that we have in our face-to-face class. In the online class, there are videos, quizzes, assignments, and exams, even discussion forums that speak to the core concepts of public speaking. Students record their online speeches in front of their peers, and then they receive feedback. Now, our hope is that students will reduce their anxiety, develop a strong speaking voice, and use dynamic gestures. Hope to see you online.
Coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Faded press to a full.
Living off machines and ventilators at a hospital isn't a life most people want to have. Hospice and end-of-life care ensures comfortability for both patients and family members. It's inevitable. For some, it may be frightening. For others, it may be peaceful.
And step in the room, I say a prayer myself just to say, God, give me the words to say.
We're talking about death and dying, a subject that isn't always the easiest to discuss. Senior pastor at Gethsemane Lutheran Church, Steve Helwig, says in 20 years of service, he's learned to expect the unexpected when he is called to the bedside of a dying person. Pastor Helwig says family is understanding of the nights and holidays he spent comforting others, and often it's he himself who is lifted by those who face end-of-life decisions.
I legitimately care about the people I'm going to see, and not only the person who's in the bed, but the husband or the wife who's next to him, sometimes the little kids who are in the room that are going to lose their mother, or sometimes it's mom and dad with their own child in the bed.
According to Endless Journey Hospice, most people talk to pastors or priests before they pass away, even if they weren't typically religious. Endless Journey Hospice Care is one of 34 local hospices for folks who choose to forego medical intervention and live the rest of their days in their home. While Taylor spends much of his day taking phone calls from doctors, it's being with people he treasures the most.
I like to think of when I'm taking care of patients that the patient isn't my only patient. The family is also my patient. Hold on one sec. Sorry, that's the doctor.
In the end of the day, someone's life may have transitioned from this world, and it gives pause for Helwig to reflect on his own mortality.
You know, for the Christian, death isn't the end, death is the beginning. It's the beginning of eternal life in heaven. So there, you know, I don't know if the world would get it, but there's real joy at the death of a Christian.
Pastor Steve Helwig says his goal is to make people feel spiritually at peace before they pass on from this world. He says he wants to use his services to help people have a higher quality of life and bring them support in their final days.
The Creative Production Lab at UNO launched its second annual 3D printing contest this week in connection with Homecoming Week. The Battle for Durango Valley offers an opportunity for students to submit 3D printing objects as part of an initiative for students to come into the CPO. Creative Production Lab supervisor and founder of the event, Charles Fisher, sees it as an opportunity to show off the new technology the lab has to offer.
It's a 3D printing and 3D modeling event that originally was, we've got a new printer, we've got new fluids, let's test it out. Either a new custom thing that they've 3D modeled themselves, or just painted a model they found on Thingiverse or brought in.
Submissions are displayed on a tabletop outside of the CPO, located in the Chris Library. Students with the best submissions receive credit for their next trip to the lab. The event runs through the end of October, with the winners being announced the week of Halloween.
That's all we have for today. Be sure to come back next week for more exciting stories in your community.
Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at UNO, the Omaha News, or find our website for even more news and stories at unomahanews.com.
From all of us here at UNO Television, thanks for watching.
We'll see you next week.
Support for this program is provided by Sequent Planning, an SEC-registered investment advisor, helping people make informed retirement income decisions. Additional information is available at sequentomaha.com.
When a child is fighting cancer, the Love Your Melon UNO campus crew is there. We believe in a simple positive impact by visiting these children and doing volunteer work around the community.
Being able to work with people, do volunteering, and helping those that really need it is a really big draw for me.
Please visit our social media or loveyourmelon.com for more information.
Maverick Sports News has grown up. Mav Radio's First Warning is streaming live to show you the best and worst of the sports world. With analyst DK Kellogg, host Ray Cook, and the whole First Warning crew. Where will you be when the warning sounds?
Lyle, calm down.
For over a century, the Child Saving Institute has been responding to the cry of a child, helping children and their families in all sorts of circumstances, through pregnancy counseling, to early childhood education, and family therapy, to foster parenting. The Child Saving Institute is here to make sure we give children from infants to young adults the best childhood possible. Child Saving Institute. Where childhood matters, we make a difference.
Through UNO, I have had access to lifelong friendships. My best friend to this day, I met on the first day of sorority recruitment. I met more friends that first day of recruitment than I think I've probably ever made in my life. In your backyard is Exarban Village. Just because it's summer, not everybody is packing up and going home. Since it is a metropolitan university, you have Omaha right at your doorstep.